get ready for this one. Grady Brewer, you know, for a guy with 11 losses, he's a guy a lot of people want to avoid. Very deceiving. And Cornelius Bundrage, 3 losses, same thing. This is a good matchup.
It sure is. We're going to take a look at the tail of the tape here, and you see the real big variables in this fight. And, you know, they're pretty close in age, as I said before. There's Grady Brewer at 37 years old, and Cornelius Bundrage, no spring chicken himself, at 35. But the one of the variables right there, 4 inches in height advantage for Grady Brewer. But the real big variable to me is 1 fight in 2 years for Grady Brewer.
And the rules here in Rhode Island are different in that the standing 8 is in effect. So that is a big one to watch.
That's one that's got to be used very judiciously by the referee.
You know, Grady Brewer, we'll talk about him in a moment, set you up more, give you some background on the guys. But let's meet them officially now as we go up to ring announcer John Vena.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Dunkin' Donuts Center here in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. Tonight on Fight Night on Versus, Tournament of Contenders in association with Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports, proudly presents a special co-featured bout of the evening, an IBO light middleweight title eliminator scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. President at ringside, Ed Levine. Representing the IBO at ringside is Hilton Whitaker III. And your matchmaker for this contest is Michael Marchanti. Your 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system are Wayne Lima, Dr. Clark Sammartino, and George Smith. And your referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Eddie Claudio. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing blue and weighs in at 154 pounds. His impressive record reads 28 victories, only 3 defeats, with 16 big wins coming by way of knockout. A star of the Contenders Season 2, please welcome from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, Cornelius K9 Bundrage. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner to my left, wearing orange, black, and silver, and weighing in at 153¼ pounds. His professional record reads 23 victories, 11 defeats, with 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. The winner of the 2nd season of the Contender from Lawton, Oklahoma, the former IBA light middleweight champion, Grady Bad Boy Brewer. 10 rounds, IBO junior middleweight title eliminator. Referee Eddie Claudio with final ring instructions.
Take over his role.
Brewer's been in with Pavlik, Jermaine Taylor, Peter Manfredo, who you'll see in the main event. He's had losses to them early in his career.
All right, gentlemen, you receive the rules over in the dressing room. We're going 10 rounds or less for this IBO eliminator. I expect a good, clean fight. When I say break, I mean break. Touch him up and let's get to work.
And Cornelius Bundrage, the shorter of the two, he's won 3 of 4 since going 2-1 in the 2006 Contender Series, coming off that unanimous decision 10-round win over Kasim Uma last March. What an effort that was. He calls himself a fresh 35. Brewer had the right knee problem, Wally, and we'll see if it makes a difference. He said, you know, he had surgery, he had time off.
Right.
He had a stay busy. He had a comeback fight against a 4-11 guy, an early TKO win, which proved very little.
Yeah, absolutely. And he says he hurt the knee, you know, running up hills back in Lawton, Oklahoma, where he's from. But even he doesn't know how much, you know, he's come back from that injury.
2 very interesting, hungry guys. Man, Brewer works 12 hours a day. He was, you know, at a Goodyear tire plant. He said it was like slavery for him, and then have to train after that. He's never really had a regular training regime. Fighting some of these guys who are managers, promoters, but he definitely has talent, and Bundrage does as well. He won his first 21 versus limited opposition. He lost a step-up fight to Saku Powell, a spectacular double knockout, 22-second affair. And he will be more aggressive. You know, the Bundrage He's got the right hand, and that's what Brewer wants to move right and stay away from. But Bundrage told us, Wally, watch the left hook. That'll be my surprise shot.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Bundrage. The rap on him has been that he's all right hand. He says, not true. You know, I've been working on the left hook, but he says, let them think I'm all right hand, because that way nobody will be expecting the left hook. But let's see. Let's see if, if he is actually a two-handed fighter.
Wally, they have the same reach, and at 5'6", Bundrage much shorter. Does he necessarily have to be inside?
No, not necessarily. But you know what? Part of the reach measurement, this is the big flaw in reach measurement, is it also takes into account the span of your back. And you can see that Cornelius Bundrage is very, very broad across the shoulders. He does also seem to have long arms for a guy only 5'6".
Watch the holding, watch the holding, watch the holding. All right, let's go, box.
Grady Brewer in the orange, very difficult to hit flush. You know, and he even says I'm awkward, but I used to get my feet tangled and I wasn't in position to punch. And now he's going to use the ring better, he said, to use some angles, keep Bundrage ring center, but move intelligently where he's in position to punch and land.
Yeah, you know what? The way Grady Brewer said that to us today, his awkwardness is one of his assets, because it makes him a very difficult guy to fight. You mentioned a lot of guys avoid Grady Brewer because of it. It's tough to look good against him. So, I mean, you know, if I were Grady Brewer, I'd try to be as awkward as possible, because that's his real asset here.
I think one of the things that's very early, I agree, Wally, is that Brewer's got to get Bundrage's respect. He may not be able to match him power shot to power shot. Trying to push him back now. It's Bundrage in the blue, and in the orange and black, Grady Brewer out of Oklahoma. Bundrage from Detroit. As we hit the end of the first of a scheduled 10-rounder here in Providence, Rhode Island, here on Fight Night with Versus. Hey, we're in Providence, Rhode Island. Delighted you could join us for a night of action. Connect rates on jabs telling from CompuBox. Bundrage 9 of 11 connects on the jab, so very good to set up that power, perhaps, Wally.
Well, that's basically what he uses that left hand for, you know, and that's one of, as I said earlier, one of the downsides Cornelius Bundrage is that you know you don't have to worry a heck of a lot until proven otherwise from that left hand. He's only going to use it to set up that right.
Boy, he's got it dropped really low.
Yeah.
Let's see if he could drop in a hook sometime. He talked about it. Nice stiff jab from him. Real good pace. Both guys really look conditioned. I know it's early in a 10-rounder, Wally, but nice pace to this fight.
No, they're in terrific shape, but we heard Eddie Halligan between rounds in Grady Brewer's corner saying, move to your right and hit him with a right hand, because, you know, obviously he's looking at what we're looking at with that low left hand, Cornelius Bundrage.
There's sort of a little hook. You're right, Wally, and a little hook from Bundrage.
All right, don't push him down. No, don't push him down. Don't push him down.
Eddie Claudio all over him on that. Brewer, they punch together. Brewer trying to show a little head movement. You know, Brewer doesn't look as awkward, Wally. Looks like he's really got his legs under him, and he's planted and positioned a lot better than in fights I've done with him before.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the awkwardness would actually work to his advantage a little bit more. I don't think he's quite loose yet.
Good point. Bundrage really has been slightly more aggressive. Now,
come on, punch out. All right, break, step back.
With a free hand, Bundrage scored twice with a right to the body, 2 rights to the body. Brewer, little head, he's just trying to dial in that offense. You see, he's trying to get himself in gear with a little momentum swing. And Brewer does look tight, Wally. I think you're right. He's just not warm to this yet. He's really taking his time.
The styles really haven't meshed yet. Neither one of them has really landed a lot, very many clean punches.
I think Brewer's got to start driving that jab a little bit more. And don't let Bundrage counter off it. Sort of hard, you're right, Wally, to see who really wants to be first.
All right, step back, come on.
Bundrage, a guy punching with more authority.
Yeah, and you know what? Brewer has not once tried in this round what his corner told him to do, which was to slip to his right and throw a right over that low left hand.
Seems like a plan to me.
It just may not feel right to him because he has not tried.
These guys know how to fight. They're reading each other. Really taking their time now in the second round. Fairly close.
Step back. Come on, guys. Come on.
Head to the third right after this. Stay with us on Versus.
Don't stop.